Rebecca Wittman is a local attorney who has something to talk about here this morning when it comes to the UPD Facebook page. Something happened over the weekend. Rebecca, thanks for coming on. And I'd rather try to stay away from the names of obviously the kid, the victim, if you will, or the police officer. Because you never know if this really is that person, or if it's somebody that has a fake Facebook page or something like that. So with that said, tell us what happened over the weekend.
Well, let me start by saying, unless I'm in the car, I don't listen to the radio, so I don't know whether you guys have already talked about this at all and gotten any of the background. But basically,
let's start over because we talked about it last hour, and by now, the audience is recycled. So let's start from the top.
Okay. So somebody got arrested. Nothing unusual, and the UPD page posted about that arrest. And the usual, anybody who isn't familiar with that page, there is a lot of frequent contributors who usually have nothing good to say, and they all, they were weighing in. And then an infrequent contributor, who is a person who happens to be a former UPD investigator, weighed in on the arrest. And I don't believe that he's ever arrested this person, and I don't believe he's arrested any family member. And he weighed in with a really, in my opinion, it was an unbelievably uncalled for, obnoxious, racist remark. And I'm not reading from it, but it was something along the lines of the son of the person posted and said, "Free my dad," which usually gets under some people's skin anyway.
Yeah.
But
how old is the kid? Do we know how old the kid is?
Yes, 12.
12 years old. All right.
And the response was something by this retired investigator was something to the effect of, "Don't worry, son, you'll get your chance. It's genetic."
Yeah, Mario had sent this to us earlier. Tasteless by all means.
Yeah.
And the fact that if this really is a former Utica police investigator, that's a little uncomfortable. It makes you a little uncomfortable, no doubt.
Well, it makes me a little uncomfortable, but it makes it actually made a lot of people uncomfortable, and there was a huge response on the UPD page. Some by people who I believe knew the arrested person, some who just were extremely offended by what this police officer had to say, which, that's not to say he's speaking for the police department. It's just to say that people recognized the name, recognized that he was a former, had been a long-time cop, and in their minds it's like, UPD isn't taking this down, therefore they must agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, one thing that we were debating over is the legalities of free speech and the constitutional provisions that the First Amendment provide. And, if you're going to leave up us, and I know there's an attorney out there that's fighting these Facebook pages, and his philosophy is, if you're going to have a Facebook page, you cannot have editorial control as a municipality. You either have it or you don't. So if you take down statements, then that isn't full free speech, because you might be taking down a statement that shows the police department in a bad light or shows the mayor in a bad light.
Right.
At the same time, there may be some racist things there. So what this attorney is saying, if you're going to have a Facebook page, everything has to stay. You can't take anything down. Would you agree with that legally? You're an attorney.
That's not my area, and I don't really know the legalities of that. If that's what the authorities are saying about the subject, then cool. However, they took down this comment. They didn't take down the whole thread of comments, but they took down that particular person's comment.
Oh, so they didn't take down the whole thread.
Did they? Have they since done that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at a screenshot of the thread.
Oh, the last I checked, this all happened Friday night. By early Saturday morning, the one offending comment was removed, but the remainder were not. All the comments that flowed from that. The thing that I don't understand is, okay, if you can cherry pick on what comment you like or you don't like, what also gives them the right to say, I don't like that person's comment, I'm going to block them, they can't comment anymore.
Right.
Well, I agree with
common.
you.
Well, I think that's where you get down the road, where this attorney who's on a crusade to take down these Facebook pages says that the municipality can't, the police department can't take down any of them because you can't give the government the right to be able to pick and choose the editorial comments on a state-sponsored website or a municipality-sponsored website. And based on my understanding, I agree with that. I think that's probably the case, which is why if you look at the FBI page, everything is up there.
Yeah. And
good, bad, ugly, and really, really ugly.
So, Rebecca, if I can ask you, didn't you just say, though, if they leave it, it means they agree with it? Or I guess maybe I only heard a part of your statement there. That if they left the comment up, it would reflect that the police department agrees with the comment.
I'm not, actually, I wasn't saying that's what my opinion is. I'm saying that is the opinion of, let's see, the people who were extremely offended by this. That they wanted the comment down, and then it was causing some. I don't know what their reasoning was, but it was causing a lot of controversy. But lo and behold, it was taken down. I doubt that was because people were saying, "Please take it down."
Yeah.
And if I can ask another question quickly, do we know for sure the Utica Police Department took it down, or is it possible the individual who made the comment deleted the comment?
I have no idea.
We don't know that.
You'd have to ask Mario.
Okay.
I can tell you, it's possible that the poster took it down. That is, you can remove a post. You can
remove your own post.
Yes. Yeah. So we don't know that UPD took that down. Andrew,
is there an issue with age? Should that be a factor here? If the person's 12-year-old, I mean, how old are they supposed to be able to be posting on Facebook?
I guess it's Facebook's problem because I mean the kid had a page and could comment, and if he didn't, he could get on his mother's page.
Sure,
or,
I don't think there's any age. It depends on what if a parent allows a kid to have a Facebook page at a certain age. So, but I think the age does come into play here. The kid's 12 years old, and saying to the kid, "You will have your chance, son. It's genetic." Oof. Boy, that's really a terrible statement to be made. And I do agree that if it is a former police officer, that it does reflect on UPD. It absolutely does. Now, I don't know what right the police department has to be able to dictate or to editorialize when it comes to what a former or retired officer can and cannot say. I guess they can say whatever they want. But it does reflect on the police department.
Agreed.
If it's a well-known police officer who is known to be somebody who at one point was making these judgments when he was a police officer. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, that was kind of, a lot of people weighed in with like, oh, this is just what his opinion was when he was on the street. He's just, voicing it now. And if it's in fact that person, he's actually still works for an arm of law enforcement, and people are aware of that.
Okay, tell me, can you tell us what your client was charged with?
It's a weapon charge.
Okay, all right. So, obviously not a very good, could be a bad situation. Obviously he's been arrested, but to go after the kid, I find to be a little rough. Because really what you want the kid to do is to realize, if his dad is doing something wrong or has been charged and it's rightfully charged, you're hoping that, maybe the kid will turn a new leaf when he grows up. But I'm not sure that making fun of the kid or making fun of the kid's father to the kid on a Facebook page is going to help matters any.
Definitely did not help matters any at all.
All right, Rebecca, I appreciate it, but thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bill, just a quick point here. I'll bring this up because it's something we've talked about before. I believe this is the case. I see a weapons charge from Friday against an individual. And a separate issue, you and I have discussed this before. It says during the course of the vehicle stop, etc., a possession of a quantity of marijuana and a quantity of U.S. currency. So that's included in the list of what was recovered from the vehicle.
Does that change anything, though, in this case?
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
okay.
But we've talked about if the cops find you doing something wrong and you have money, they seize the money, claiming
money goes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have that money because you just sold your Harley Davidson or something.
Correct.
And that money goes. By the way, someone in the know just informed us that a person cannot remove their comment once it is posted on the Facebook page. So on this particular page, the way it is done, they cannot, once the comment is posted, they cannot remove it. So that would lend you to believe that someone from within whoever's monitoring the police Facebook page was the one that actually removed that post. And I'm assuming that their intentions were good, right? They probably were like, we don't want this. We don't want
poor
this.
taste. Yeah.
This is in poor taste. I mean, it's a kid, for God's sakes.